More than 2 centuries before the War of the Ring, Gondor's power is waning. Its fiefs are now engaged in a war. Orcs have come down from the White Mountains, causing chaos. The Orc forces have pushed Gondor to the outskirts of a small town. The town bells ring out as they hastily muster their small garrison. Both armies suffered significant losses in the battle at the ruin. Although the Orcs were successful in harrying and pursuing the Gondorian army, they no longer possess overwhelming numerical superiority. The garrison of the town have set up ballista and a trebuchet to help in the defense effort. At the tragic death of Captain Andoril by the bloody hand of Dushrat the Climber, Captain Kelethon takes command of the Gondorian forces. Dushrat the Climber has a bloodthirst. He and his Orc warband are now emboldened, or perhaps overconfident. Will the Orcs once again taste man flesh, or will Gondor show its quality? The Orc hero successfully orders the wargs forwards. Yet the Orc hero blunders his second command. The Orc rabble do not move, and he cannot command again this turn. Command moves to the general, who successfully moves the wargs on the left flank, and again successfully moving the Orc rabble. Dushrat further proves his competence by moving the center mass of Orcs. He also successfully moves his most elite Orcs. Orcs he no doubt trained himself. Alas, his archers barely hear his command and only move half distance. Dushrat himself changes his position to better command his troops. His hero follows suit. No more commands may be made this turn. A Gondorian hero from the town steps forward to help in the defense. However, there are delays in setting up the trebuchet. The hero, however, successfully orders the swordsman into a battle line. And then he successfully orders the archers to fall in behind the swordsman, and the spears to form up on their right. He then orders the swords on the right flank. They successfully move up into a battle line. However, the general blunders the order to the Citadel Guard. They do not move. The Fountain Guard command move up.
Oh no, I forgot it was up for goals.
Things on the Orcish side are not going to plan. The Orcish hero has blundered his command. The Warg Riders lose control of their wargs as they run wildly towards the enemy ahead of the line. Command now passes back to Dushrat, who successfully orders the center brigade of Orcs. He also successfully commands the archers to move up. However, he fails ordering the second unit of archers. The Gondorian garrison has finally successfully set up the trebuchet. Swordsman and archer brigade successfully move up on the left flank. The Fountain Guard are successfully moved up into a brigade with the swordsman holding the center. The general successfully orders the Gondorian cavalry to hold the right flank. Gondor ponders the range of their trebuchet with snacks.
Come on.
I mean, next turn you would, wouldn't
You told me I was in range.
Okay, you could be in range. You ready to treb?
Yes.
Good.
The trebuchet fires upon the Orcs. Although it does not do much damage, it is able to push them back. The Gondorian archers on the left flank fire upon the wargs. They are also pushed back. The Orc hero moves up. The hero fails its order to the wargs. They move half distance. However, the other unit of archers is successfully ordered by the general, followed by the Orcs. They begin to form a long battle line. However, he fails to order the disordered orc rabble in the centre. They are, however, able to move half distance.
His job is to get these stragglers up the field, but I'm not confident.
Dushrat moves into the centre of his orc horde. He successfully orders his wargs to shoot the infantry archer brigade, pushing them back. The wargs on the orcs' left flank are able to push back the Gondorian cavalry with their arrows. The Gondorian hero orders the sword and archer brigade to fall back towards the town, meeting the rest of the line. The Gondorian cavalry charge the wargs, but as they do, the wargs shoot their bows in response, causing a wound on the cavalry. Gondor attempts to form shield walls.
Shield wall. Shield wall. Shield wall. Shield wall.
So,
My lords, creating an entire world can be challenging, but with the help of a collaboration with Hexton Hills from Gravenguild, my dreams were made manifest, from fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. If you would like to print an entire world of your own, I've left the links in my description. I'd also like to give a massive shout out to Tom Romain and the entire dev team of Dawnless Days. Not only did they create the most amazing mod for Attila Total War, which is a complete Lord of the Rings conversion, they were the inspiration for these videos, they also gave me access to and permission to use their amazing UI overlays. And a really big thank you to Dice Dragons for sending me these awesome dice trays, and if you'd like one for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description. And a massive thank you to this legend. This is Finn, the WizFX. He helped me out filming this episode. He was camera number 2. A bit of Wizard's Brush, deep lore. Finn actually started the channel with me. It used to be me and Finn. Some of you will know that and will have seen the original episodes pre-10 mil. We had some hilarious times, and it was just as funny and fun to do this again with him. So thank you, Finn.
My lords, if you are enjoying what you're seeing, and I indeed do have your favour, would you do me a favour and like, hype and subscribe? In truth, my lords, I am at your mercy, and at the mercy of the whims of the algorithm wins. And I would move mountains for these legends. These are the Vortexians, the people that keep this light on, the lights on in general. They're the Patreons, basically. If you'd like to support this channel in a much more money type way, then you can follow the link in my description and help me. I spend all the money back into the channel on things like maps, big ones, and paintbrushes and all sorts, and end up with no money anyway, but please help me, please. Now let's get back to the thing that you actually clicked on and you prefer to be watching.
My lords, Gondor has successfully formed its shield walls, and now they check the line of sight on their trebuchet. Now a brutal melee ensues. The wargs win the fight and successfully push the cavalry back. They then pursue. The wargs begin to win, killing horses and men. Over on the orc side, the orc hero is having an absolute nightmare and fails another order.
oh, need a new hero. Maybe we kill him after the game.
They are able to move at half speed. The general successfully orders up the spearmen. They move up towards the Fountain Guard and Swordsman Brigade. Dushrat also successfully orders his centre brigade. The orcs' disorganised lines are beginning to form up into a cohesive line. This situation is mirrored on the far right flank of the orcs as they take position. And the wargs follow suit. However, the orc rabble is still getting left far behind. They shuffle at half speed. The wargs and orc archers fire upon the spear brigade in the centre, pushing them back. Meanwhile, the wargs versus the Gondorian cavalry, they kill each other to a man and an orc. leaving none alive.
I have to make sure that this fighting phase goes well for me. Yes. I'm going to order these guys to move forward. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit, so hopefully I get a better charge in.
The brigade on the Gondorian right flank charges upon the Uruk-hai using their initiative. The Gondorian spears in the centre charge the centre Orc brigade. The Gondorian hero blunders an order. The Gondorian swords and archer brigade is unable to make its charge and stops just in front of the warg unit. The Gondorian hero and Captain Kelethon move up. The trebuchet fires upon the Orc rabble backline, pushing them backwards. The archers on the Gondorian left fire upon the wargs, also pushing them back. The Gondorian swordsmen, supported by the Fountain Guard, are able to crush the Uruk-hai on the Gondorian right flank. Pushing them back, the brigade then decides to fall back towards the city, not wanting to overextend, with fears of being flanked or enveloped. The Orc archers fired upon the Gondorians' brigade as they charged, but missed. The Orc brigade is then almost fully annihilated by the might of Gondorian spears. The Orc hero is finally successful in ordering the Orc rabble that has so far been trapped so far behind the Orcs' front line. The hero is then successful in ordering the Orc rabble into a battle line at the rear centre. Can the Orcs finally mount a cohesive and successful onslaught? The general successfully orders the wargs twice. Curiously, they bypass the Gondorian archer swordsman brigade and move towards the town. What foul deeds have they got planned?
Alright, I'm gonna have to risk it for a biscuit. No, not that. So it's obviously failed. It was a stupid risk.
You should have risked it for the actual biscuit.
Should have eaten the biscuit, not the finger.
The Orcs successfully use their fire arrows to begin burning down the Gondorian town, starting with this orphanage. The Gondorian fire marshals move in to start putting out the blaze. Seeing the fire, the Gondorians begin to pull back. The spearmen attempt to turn towards the wargs and charge them, but the order is failed. The citadel guard and swordsmen are able to fall back successfully towards the town. The swordsman archer brigade also fail the order to charge upon the wargs. The town's ballistas fire upon the warg, pushing them back. The Gondorian archers also fire but fail to wound them. The Gondorian trebuchet fires upon the Uruks, killing some and pushing them back. The Orc hero manages to reform his lines. Finally, most of the Orc forces are as one. Dushrat the Climber, however, has developed a taste for fire and wishes his wargs to cause more chaos in the town. Using their speed and ferocity, they move into the town square. Dushrat moves up for a better view. This is what Orc tourism really looks like. The wargs then set fire to the Merchants' Guild, the centre of economy in the town. The Gondorian spears attempt to pursue and intercept the wargs, however they do not get far enough. The Gondorian heroes move up to assist. An orc horn is heard, the hero's voice screams above the din.
Form ranks, you maggots!
2 orcish brigades are formed. Some order has been restored to the orcish horde. Meanwhile, in the town, the wargs move up towards the trebuchet, charging it. Wiping out the crew and destroying the trebuchet.
It's Trebid time.
Infantry lines continue to move back towards the town. The Swordsman and Citadel Guard Brigade are able to move into the town, charging upon the wargs successfully. The wargs are utterly wiped out, and the city is finally clear. The orcs halt their advance. They see the town burning, yet they also look around. They have taken heavy casualties. Dushrat the Climber is no fool. He makes the decision to pull back. The Gondorians have put out the fires, posted themselves at chokeholds, and rallied the city's garrison. They have a good position. They have lost men, yet far less than the orcs. They have held their ground. It is victory for Gondor this day. Yet they must rebuild, and both armies must now retreat and recruit. Their armies must once again grow in strength. At Calimbel, the Gondorians have decided to build a new merchants' guild, a larger one, greatly strengthening their economy, or at least making up for the loss of the previous guild. They have also built a fief mustering hall. Gondor must call upon the local levies, as no more help can come from Minas Tirith. In Durs Eric, in the cold White Mountains, word of the climbers' defeat has reached the Tower of Kelek. Construction on a war pit has begun. Have recruited another foul hero from the orcish ranks, and begun training the warbands in the art of plundering. The war has entered a new phase. As Gondor's centralized governance begins to weaken, the localized fiefs begin to strengthen. And the orcs, however bloodied, are hell-bent on their destruction. The fate of Middle-earth lies on a knife's edge.